Right, I'm gonna answer some of your questions that you left on my Instagram story. So, guys, at Young MLX, who has the best chance to unify all the belts in super middleweight, in your opinion? To me, there's only one man at super middleweight, and that is Callum Smith, the ring champion, World Boxing Super Series winner. Beat George Groves, who was the number one, so he is the number one. His size and reach. What scares me about Callum Smith is he can use his size and reach. He has a good jab. He's got a good right hand. We saw it against George Groves. Groves was popping that jab and maybe winning the rounds, but he was doing all he can just to keep him at bay and win those rounds. On the inside, Callum Smith is an animal. Those uppercuts, the smart things he does on the inside, it scares me that a man of his size and reach and stature can actually do them kind of things. And then he can box on the outside if he wants to as well. Caleb Truax, he's great on the outside, but Smith is just so much bigger than him, so it'll be easy for Smith. And when he comes on the inside, Smith's a bigger puncher. He is literally a light heavyweight at super middleweight. So it'll just be tough for everyone else. Benavidez Jr. and Benavidez, I think he's a hat job. Sorry to say, against Gavril didn't look good. I don't see him and think, wow, that's an elite level fighter. When I see Callum Smith, I see him and say, wow, that's an elite level fighter. Caleb Truax, I do sort of see that, but he's a bit undersized. I would pick Callum Smith to beat him handily, to be honest with you. And who else is at that weight? Billy Joe Saunders? Yeah, no. Against Callum Smith, that's a beat that waiting to happen. And Gilberto Ramirez moved up. I don't see the skills in him that greatly. He's not an elite level fighter. I was high on him, but I just think he's a good, solid fighter. I think Callum Smith washes them all, and hopefully we get to see those fights. It's a very good division, don't get me wrong, but I just see Callum Smith as a cut above everyone else. Even at light heavyweight, I see Callum Smith going in there and doing a lot of damage to those guys. Okay, another question from someone's at, which is unpronounceable. How would boxing change with MMA gloves? Which boxers would profit most from this? So how would boxing change with MMA gloves? A lot more deaths, a lot more knockouts. Yeah, a lot of brain injury, a lot of brain trauma. And that's just not the smart way to go about it, to be honest with you. You saw the bare knuckle boxing guys, what their faces look like. MMA fighters, after taking a few strikes, you can see that they're bloodied up already. For health and longevity, that's not a smart idea to punch each other, basically, bare knuckle. Which boxer profit most from this? Now, I was going to say Deontay Wilder, but he has hand problems, so it could shorten the length of his career. So it's hard to say which boxers would really profit the most from it, because I'm assuming you would take more damage to your hands. People like Paulie Malignaggi, their hands will become bust up much more quickly. So I'm not really sure. It's a bit of a tough question, that one. I'll let you guys answer it. Who wins at lightweight? Roberto Duran or Vasyl Lomachenko? By Tom Newton 89. I would have to go with me personally. I picked the bigger, more natural size guy. Lomachenko come up from featherweight to lightweight, and he weighs 138 in the ring. Roberto Duran went from lightweight to middleweight. I think he even went up to super middleweight. So he was just a much larger guy who was draining himself to get to lightweight. And it was when he was at lightweight, he was the... If you thought Orlando Salido was bad, Roberto Duran is going to murder you. And that's not just to say, oh, because 1 + 1 = 2. But I'm saying that Roberto Duran was supernatural on the inside. He knows how to cut off the ring. He knows to apply pressure. He knows... That guy, he's a phenom. He is very much something different. And Lomachenko, he is fast, but with his speed, it doesn't really hurt you with one punch. It's an accumulation, maybe to the body. Someone like even Pretty Boy Floyd, he was fast and he was sharp and accurate with those punches where you're like, oh crap, I can't take too many. With Lomachenko, I don't really see that effect as much, especially at lightweight. So I'm going to have to go with Roberto Duran. Quite a few people ask me to talk about the networks and the promoters in the game right now. They asked a variety of different questions, but I'm going to try to sort of bring that all into one right now. So I'm going to start with, obviously we have in the UK, Sky Sports, BT Sport. The fighters don't really cross over unless it makes sense, and then they do cross over. Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn don't like working together, but Eddie Hearn will work with anyone. Frank Warren will work with pretty much anyone as well. Apart from each other, it does get a bit techy. It does get a bit difficult, sorry. But yeah, it happens more or less when it needs to happen. In America, however, we've seen Bob Arum and Oscar work together. They don't like working each other, they'd rather not, but when the fight makes sense, it does get made. Same with Eddie Hearn, he works with both of those guys all the time. And PBC, they mostly keep themselves to themselves when it comes to the top guys. When it comes to the likes of letting John Molina Jr. go over to get smashed by Crawford, they don't mind. Crawford's faced a whole slew of the lower tier guys. When it comes to the higher tier guys, they're way more reluctant to let them fight on other people's platforms. And even sending offers for other people's fighters to come fight on their platform, they're reluctant to do that as well. So I think personally I don't see a problem with everyone having different promoters, etc. As long as the fights get made, as we always say. But it's the willingness to make the fight. As long as both parties want to make the fight, then it's going to happen. And that doesn't necessarily mean the two fighters. Sometimes I feel even when two fighters want to fight each other, there'll be people in the air telling them, oh, you got to do this, do that, this is easier, we make money here, freeze them out, etc. Just people in the air telling them things, and that becomes problematic. Someone like Bob Arum, they'll want their fighter to take 2 or 3 world title fights where they don't have much danger, and then after that, they go take a risk. Once he's made his money, then they go take the risk. Not when the fight's available and just smart to make straight off the rip. And that is quite a problem. But with Bob, he's ready to let Lomachenko and Terence Crawford fight anybody in their weight class. Don't be mistaken, he'll let them fight anyone. He'll let them go on other places. They'll do joint pay-per-view, because ESPN can now do pay-per-view. So they'll do pay-per-view with Showtime. They don't mind doing that. I believe they're willing and ready to do that. I'll have a post for you guys. It's called, as of right now, it's called the Promoter Database, where just give a whole rundown on the promoter, the TV networks, what they've done historically, the top fighters, what they're going to be doing, and their position and standing in boxing, what we can expect in the future. So I've pretty much finished the Top Rank one. It's taken a while, so I'll try and have that done by Monday, and it will be uploaded to you. I'll have the Vasyl Lomachenko report card probably after this is uploaded. And what else? Yeah, I'll try to do a breakdown for Shields vs Hammer, possibly do other stuff with that as well. But yeah, there's a lot of content coming your way. Thank you again to all the patrons. I'm gonna try and make sure you guys get your money's worth. Hopefully, it's a bit of an awkward time because there's not much good boxing going on right now. There's not much to talk about. It's a down period in boxing right now, but things are gonna pick up soon. So it's your boy The Purist signing out. Thank you again.